Hello, welcome to my static stretch video. Before we get started, I just want to say that these stretches are static stretches, which will help you relax and cool down. They're perfect for post-workout or to unwind after a long day, but they're not the kind of thing you want to do to warm up for a workout. To warm up, you want to be bringing your energy up, not down, so check out my other video if that's what you're looking for. First, we're going to do a side body stretch. So that's for all the muscles down the side of your torso. You're going to reach up with one arm and cross the other leg back behind you, stretching out through that side body, and you want to breathe into your side body. So visualize as you inhale your rib cage expanding, and then as you exhale your rib cage closing off a little bit. And through all stretches, we just want to take nice deep breaths, letting our body relax. You'll hold it about 30 seconds. That's about 6 to 8 slow, deep breaths for most people. And then you can switch sides, breathing deep into the side of the rib cage. Alright, next up we're going to stretch our rear delts, which is the back of your shoulder. You're going to cross your arm in front of you and use your other arm hooked underneath to pull deeper into the stretch. You want to make sure you don't let that shoulder shrug up to your ear and instead keep it pushed down low away from your ear. With all stretches, we're taking nice, deep, relaxing breaths. About 30 seconds, and then you can switch sides. Again, don't let that shoulder rise up, keep it down, low, away from your ear. Next up, we're going to stretch our triceps. That is the back side of your upper arm. So you're going to reach that arm back behind your head and then use your free arm to pull the elbow kind of across and behind you. Taking nice deep breaths to try to let your body relax. About 30 seconds, and then you can switch sides. Here we have our chest stretch, stretching through the pectorals. For this one, you're going to want either a railing or a corner. You'll put your forearm up against the railing with the fold of the elbow just a little above the top of your shoulder, and then you're going to turn your body outward so you're opening up through the chest. Normally we want to breathe deep into our belly, but for this one you can breathe into your chest. And notice how as you breathe in, you can feel that opening, that expansion through your chest. About 30 seconds, and then switching sides. Again, fold of the elbow just barely above the top of the shoulder. You can play with different angles here, but this angle hits the most muscle fibers in the pec. Breathing into the chest. Now we're going to stretch the front delts, that's the front of our shoulder. You might also feel it in your bicep. So you're going to interlace your fingers behind you, keep your core engaged, and roll the shoulders down and back. You may feel this one, like I said, in your chest or in your biceps, but we're really aiming to feel the fronts of the shoulders here. If you want a deeper stretch, you can lift your hands back behind you a little bit. Do try to keep your core engaged so your back doesn't come into a deep arch. Next up, we're going to stretch the upper trapezius, which is the top of the shoulders and into the neck. I'm going to turn around so you can see what I'm doing here, but I'm anchoring one arm down to the side of my body using my other arm, and then I tilt my ear towards my hands. Always breathing deep while we're stretching. And you can play with different angles here, so you can roll your head just a little bit forward to get more through the back of the upper trap and into the levator scap. And then we'll release the head, then release the hands and switch sides, then bringing the other ear towards the other side, towards the hands. Deep breaths to let your body relax. And if it feels good, you can roll your head forward to stretch more through the back part of the neck. Now we're going to move into the lower body. We'll start standing, stretching the calf. I'm using a dumbbell here. You can also use the edge of the wall, or if you have a step or stair in your home, you can use that. But you're going to put the ball of the foot elevated up above the heel, and then you can just slightly lean forward. When I do it with a straight leg, I'm hitting mostly my gastroc. I also want to ease out of the stretch, bend my knee, and then come forward again to hit the deeper calf muscle, the soleus. So I'll do about 30 seconds with my knee straight to hit that big round muscle you see towards the top of the calf. And then I'll back off, bend the knee, press forward again to get the soleus, which you'll feel lower down, more towards your ankle. From here, we're coming down to the floor. We're going to stretch our quads, which is the fronts of our thighs. For this one, you can maybe see that I have a double padded mat, so I've got like 2 mats stacked. You might want to fold or roll up your mat to get a little more knee padding, but I'm going to come into a deep lunge with a back knee on the floor. Rather than just sinking straight forward, first I'm going to tuck the tailbone and use my abs to pull up through the ribs, then I come forward just a little bit to feel the quad. If this is really uncomfortable on your knee, or you just want to try a different variation, you can lift the knee, either keeping it a little bit bent, just hovering off the floor, or you can straighten out. They'll all give you just a slightly different stretch, so I encourage you to try each one. Again, when we switch sides, we're going to tuck the tailbone using the glute and the core muscles, and then come forward just a little bit. You can also make this variation a deeper stretch by pushing into the ball of the back foot. Notice how that opens up the quad and hip even deeper. And again, you have the option to bring your hands down to the floor and lift that back knee, either keeping it slightly bent or straightening it out entirely. Whichever variation you choose, you want to be breathing nice and deep. Next up, we're going to do a glute stretch, so you'll start lying on your back. You're going to cross your ankle over your knee, keeping the toe flexed up towards the shin, and then reach through your legs and interlace your fingers behind your knee, behind your thigh. Breathing deep and relaxing. Keeping that toe flexed up in front of you. If you want to go deeper, you can pull your leg in a little farther and grab your fingers in front of your shin, which just pulls that top leg in closer to your torso. You can also grab your knee and then rotate your hips and your legs down to the side. And then when I do that, I'll reach across and look the opposite direction with my arm to get a deep twist. This stretches less in the glute maximus, the big meaty part of your glute, and more glute medius, which is in the side, more into the hip. And then again on the other side, always keep that toe flexed up. Reach through and grab behind your thigh, and always breathing deep when we're stretching. Again, you can grab the shin if you want to come in a little deeper. And then you have the option of grabbing the top of your knee and rotating your hips to the side, reaching out and across with the free arm to get more into the hip, the glute medius area. All right. Next up, we're going to stretch the hamstrings, the back of the upper leg. You're going to keep one foot planted and reach the other leg up towards the ceiling. I'm going to interlace my fingers behind my thigh. And on this one, I want to do a little game of tug of war. So as my arms are pulling on my leg, I'm going to push my leg back against my fingers. If you want to come deeper, you can bring your hands more towards your calf or ankle. And then if you want to go even deeper, you can grab your toe. When we're stretching, it's not about getting as deep into the stretch as you can. It's about going to the first point that you feel a stretch. So don't sweat it if you can't touch your toes here. The important thing is feeling a good stretch. Switching sides, again, I'm going to push my leg back against my fingers to get a better stretch through the hamstring. And again, you can bring your hands closer to your foot to get a deeper stretch. Finally, while we're still on the floor, we're going to stretch our forearms, the inside part of the lower arm. So you're going to be on all fours in a tabletop position, and you'll turn one hand back so your fingertips are facing towards your knee. If this feels pretty intense, I urge you to just do one side at a time so you can support more of your weight on the other hand. If it's not feeling very intense, you can twist your other hand around so you're stretching both at the same time. And then if you want to come deeper here, you can shift your weight back towards your heels a little bit to really feel that opening on the inner lower arm. Thanks so much for stretching with me. I hope you feel good after this routine. Bye.